Welcome guys to a brand new video on solo leveling Arise. So I have made several videos regarding the brand new updates. I summoned for the brand new weapon and yes, I managed to pull the weapon. So in today's video, why is the contrast so high right now? It's so bright, what the hell? Anyways, in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the brand new SSR weapon. We are going to be testing it out. This is showcase of the gameplay, showcase as well as my first impression on this brand new SSR weapon for Song Jinwoo. Now hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content on solo leveling Arise. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so that you guys don't miss out on helpful videos that I will be releasing. Make sure you show your support by liking the video as well. Let's go ahead and get 60 likes in today's video. So the brand new weapon is called Moonshadow, and unfortunately for this weapon, it's another dark type weapon, which puts it at a very terrible spot, simply because we already have two main DPS SSR weapons for Song Jinwoo, and your Shadow Scythe you can get for free. You can get 2 copies for free from the challenges section over here. And the Plume Sword is no doubt the best SSR weapon in the game, and you absolutely need. And a lot of people are summoning for this Plume Sword. A lot of people have the Plume Sword as well. So when it comes to which dark weapon you should be using, it becomes a little bit tricky now. However, the Plume Sword is still remain as one of the best weapons you still always need to be using. But then it comes to, you can get extra copies for the Shadow Scythe, especially like me. I have 3 copies in already, plus in the original, so that's 4. So I have a lot more precision, which I need anyways. So it's very helpful to use the Shadow Scythe. Now we have this new dark weapon, and it's trying to take a spot of the other weapons. And the thing is, it's fighting 2 of the best weapons in the game. Now honestly, I do prefer the Grimoire more than the Scythe. Honestly, the Scythe is one of my worst, or if not my least favorite weapon in the entire game, simply because of one thing, and that's when I'm using this skill, I get interrupted every time. I can never do the full attack string unless the enemy is downed and I time it perfectly, which annoys me because it means that when I have the skill off cooldown, I can't use it unless it's at the perfect spot. So luckily for me, this brand new weapon, I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to get more dupes on this weapon so I can switch out the Scythe, because I love this weapon and I think the damage from the weapon is actually really good. Now one thing you will notice about this weapon is it doesn't increase your crit rate or crit damage. In fact, there is no crit rate or crit damage involved with this weapon, no matter how much dupes you get of this weapon. So if you take a look at this, essentially the effects of this is when using Moon Glow Shining in the dark, which is let's go ahead and showcase the animation actually. Now I will be testing out this weapon right now in today's video as well, showcasing gameplays as well, so stay tuned for that. Let me go ahead and go over to Codex. I have all the SSR weapons now, so I'm happy. Anyways, I should actually, you know what, I will need to show you guys a little bit of a summon video as well. It's really short, but I don't know where to include it in the video. Maybe I'll do it at the beginning. So there we go. This is the animation over here, and one thing I love is you can't be interrupted, which means you can fully do all of this attack. With the Scythe, that is impossible most of the time. If you get hit, yeah, it's GG's. You have to start again. You've lost that damage you can do from that weapon, which pisses me off every single time. Anyways, once again, there is no crit rate or crit damage, whereas the 2 other dark weapons focuses on crit rate, crit damage as well. One thing I love about this weapon though is the first dupe is essentially insane. So we will take a look at that later on. But when you apply the Moon Glow Shining in the dark, it applies the full moon effect on the target on the moon. When the last attack of the Moon Glow Shining in the dark hits, it slows the time for 3 seconds. Now one thing the issue I have with this, it's you need to hit your last attack before you can actually slow down the enemy. Compared to the Grimoire, immediately you use it, you will instantly freeze, which is kind of annoying if you're going against enemies that move about. So I was fighting against the bear, and the bear would move about when I'm using this ability, and it would not apply the it would not apply the slow effect on it, the slowdown effect on them. So it actually annoys me, and applies 1 instance of lunar eclipse to the target per instance of full moon. So if I understand this correctly, the amount of full moon you can apply equals the amount of lunar eclipse you can apply to the opponent. So if you take a look at the first dupe over here, enhances the effect. So essentially you can now stack the effect of the full moon. Now as you can see, the duration of this is infinite. So as long as you have full moon, you can stack 10% increase in damage taken and increases users dark damage by 10%. However, this can only be stacked once. However, with the first dupe, you can stack this up to 3 times, which means you can double or triple, the effect of lunar eclipse. The duration is only for 3 seconds, but if you have 3 stacks of full moon, then you will stack 3 stacks of lunar eclipse, which will then increase damage taken by 30% and increase the user's dark damage by another 30%. However, at first dupe, you actually increase the effect to 15%, so it's 45% increase to target's damage taken plus a 45% increase in dark damage, which is very, very good. The second dupe increases dark attack. Now the third one is also main point of importance as well, because every time you do shadow step, and I believe shadow step is when you do that dash ability. If I go over to skill, shadow step is, it's when you can, I can't find it. Oh, there it goes. This is shadow step, sorry. So yeah, upon doing this, you, as you can see, decreases the enemy's defense by 60%. Plus now you have this effect to apply lunar eclipse as well. So when shadow step hits, it applies 1 instance of lunar eclipse per instance of full moon. So I believe this again means per instance of full moon, the amount of full moon you have equals the amount of lunar eclipse you stack, if I understand this correctly. So this would be helpful to stacking this for a while, for a long time, and the damage from this will be good. But again, since a lot of you guys already started working, or you have worked on your scythe and your demonic plume sword, it makes it extremely hard to decide whether or not you need to work on the Moonshadow or you need to build it. So what we're going to be doing right now is now going into some gameplay. So I actually just beat this. I recorded the video first of all, a video before, but I thought I didn't like it. So I beat this stage using the, let me show you actually, I can show you the team. There you go. So this is the exact team I use and the weapons as well. So let me go ahead and show you how it was working. Once again, you want to make sure that when you use your skill of the Moonshadow, you want to make sure that the enemy isn't about to run away, so that you can fully do your attack strings and apply the whatever it's called. Okay, so what I want to do now is show you guys that you still are going to be using the plume sword, by the way, because the plume sword is very important. So as you do shadow step, you actually will be able to stack the lunar eclipse as well. So honestly, this is a weapon that is going to be helpful for moon for end game. So I'm not using the moon step right now, or the shadow sword or whatever it's called. So like you can see, the bear moves around, but there we go. So to the slow time or whatever has been applied, and they died. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be very helpful against bosses. Honestly, this weapon is going to be one of the best for bosses. There we go. If you have 3 dupes on this weapon, it's going to be very, very helpful. And I prefer this weapon once again because the attack strings are very, very fluid compared to using a scythe, in my opinion. There we go. There we go. And we're going to apply this all over again. Look at the attack damage, by the way. That's insane. And then we use the scythe. So the damage from the weapon is actually better than the scythe. I mean, no, than the plume sword. However, the plume sword gives you good buffs in general for when you want to ults and stuff. So important. There we go. And okay, so they did change the animations for Sung Jin Woo. So I think when they said they buffed up characters' effects, it means the animations. They should have explained it better, silly people. I thought it meant the actual skill of the characters, but okay. So anyways, okay, this is pissing me off. Oh, we did manage to apply it. Perfect. There we go. So we're going to use the plume sword. It's fine. This is way better to use than the scythe. I don't care. Because the scythe just like stops me. I get stopped every single time the enemy attacks me. So I would always have to use it behind, which pisses me off. Now I could just use this when I want to use it. Okay. As long as the enemy is not about to move. And as you can see, I get freedom. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Behind. Like I said, if you had the third dupe on this, it would be insane. So I do like this weapon, honestly. I do like the moon, whatever it's called, Moonwalker or Moonshadow. There we go. Get behind. Oh snap! I'm an idiot. I thought I pressed the wrong key. That's why. Anyways, we use this. There we go. Very, very nice. So I like using this weapon. I really do. There we go. Way better than using the scythe. I don't care. So I'm going to show you gameplay with using the scythe actually, because you will see why I hate using the scythe, especially against this boss. So let's go. So that's the showcase of the moon, what's it called, Moonshadow. So let's go back now, and we're going to switch our weapons to using the scythe. So when it comes to which weapon you would use, for sure still use the plume sword, sorry about that. But then the scythe, I already have 3 dupes on the scythe. But honestly, the dupes for the scythe doesn't really matter too much. Besides the first dupe, the third dupe for the scythe was useless. The amount of HP given back to you is abysmal, absolutely abysmal. Like, take a look at it. The third dupe, really useless in my opinion. Like, really, really useless. The amount of healing I got was terrible, so I don't really like it. So compared to the other thing, actually wait, we're not doing that. Compared to the Moonshadow, it's abysmal in terms of the third dupe importance. Moonshadow's third dupe is way important than the scythe. So I think the Moonshadow might actually take over the spot of the scythe. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to the scythe. Okay, we get more power, of course, because the scythe is duped up. But honestly, I prefer using the Moonshadow any day. Any day. The invisibility you have, very important and very useful. So let's use this. Okay, there we go. Well, good attack range, I guess. There we go. Let's just see how good it is to use the scythe in general. Like, in terms of like usability, I prefer using the Moonshadow. Okay, let's go. Okay, I for some reason sucked. So there we go. We can use this. So the damage from the scythe, as you can see, in general, is really good. In general, but then again, it's duped up already. There we go. Perfect. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Let's do this. Behind him. Huh. Okay. I'm showcasing how good the scythe is. In general, it is a good weapon, guys. In general, it's a good weapon. Oh wait, are we using the shadows? We didn't use the shadows at all. I don't know if we used the shadows last time, actually. Okay. Wow, my dodging has actually gotten way easier. What the flip? Have I gotten better, guys? Yo, I'm dodging like almost every single time. Then again, the boss is kind of slow. Okay, it's a lot faster. There we go. Get behind. Use this. Bam, 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 bam. Damn. So yeah, in general, when you use the ability of the scythe, it's really, really good. But I think I prefer using the Moonshadow any day. Simply because it's just easier. Who doesn't like ease of use? But as you can see, since my scythe is duped up a lot, actually, so that's why. And plus the levels as well. Let's not forget to ignore the levels. Right now, my Moonshadow is only at level 20, whereas the scythe is a lot higher. So in general, I wouldn't say it's like a better weapon. I just say I prefer it. I would say I prefer it. but I still have to use the scythe moving forward simply because I've already leveled it up. And right now, with the lack of resources to, not this actually, the lack of resources to level up a weapon is ruining it, literally. So let me just go ahead and work on it actually. So I'm gonna get some dark ones from here. We will limit break it. I don't even know how much I needed, but whatever. Let's go back. I do want to level this up though. If I could get more dupes, then I would definitely switch out the scythe for this one. There we go. But the issue with this though is the fact that I got myself a new weapon as well for fire, which of course I think is way better to build, simply because this is the only SSR fire weapon, and therefore I need to work on it. Because what else would I be using for fire, for content with fire bosses, content with enemies that are weak to fire? So I think for now I've got to put the Moonshadow on the back burner and just focus on the Vulcan Rage. But let's not forget, let's not ignore the Moonshadow. It's a really good weapon in my opinion. Just doesn't enhance your crit rate or crit damage. Plus you have to make sure that when you use your full attack, you are able to use your last attack as well to apply the slow time, plus then the ability to increase the amount of damage they take. I just prefer using this because there's no interruption. So yeah, especially when you're trying to make sure you don't take a lot of damage, you can use it to cheese certain stuff. So that's really interesting. Anyways, it's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content on solo leveling Arise. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys are going to be aiming to get the new weapon. It's not a must have, it's not a must need. It's just a good weapon, just like every single SSR weapon, honestly. But if you already have the scythe and the plume sword, I don't think you necessarily need it, depending on how much investment you already put into those weapons. But eventually, as we get more weapons and as we get more upgrade materials, it should be getting easier to build those weapons. So you will have the option to actually use them if you think it's better in the future. Anyways, it's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out.